Movies on HBO Max to watch now. So here we are on HBO Max. I'm not going to scroll up because a video from a movie will play and that will cause us to have copyright issues. But I will be going through the service and showing you quite a lot of movies that you could watch, and I'll be picking out some for you to watch right now. So on this list, there are the most watched movies at the moment, the top 10 movies today. Now I'm going to scroll up to the front and I'm going to show you Green Lantern. Now, I haven't seen this movie, and throughout this video, I will not be picking movies that I have not watched. I'm going to pick movies that I've already watched and recommend to you as to movies that you could watch on HBO Max. Now, because I haven't watched Green Lantern, it might be popular because, of course, Ryan Reynolds, come on, and of course, because he's self-deprecated over the movie quite a lot, and Lanterns has just been released. So people are going back to Green Lantern to go and watch it now to see how Hal Jordan was portrayed by Ryan Reynolds. And that's probably why it's number 1 out of 10 right now. And Ryan Reynolds will probably agree with me, and he'd probably make a joke about it at the same time. But I wanted to point that out for you. And of course, because Superman and the DCU have progressed forward away from the Snyderverse, and the DCU has progressed in a different direction to the Snyderverse, then the Snyderverse movies that are available are also in the top 3, and you can see Justice League right here. But there are my top picks right now for movies that you could watch right now on HBO Max that aren't even comic book movies, and it's going to shock you because you won't believe or understand, that's available on HBO Max. Let's get into it. Now, the number 1 pick for me so far, the first pick, not the number 1, so it's not at the top of the list, but I Am Legend, starring Will Smith. A beauty of a performance from Will Smith in this movie, and it does explore loneliness in a post-apocalyptic zombie world, or you could call them zombies. They might not necessarily be zombies because there's more to the story, but infected, and he's on his own in the city, and you see him struggle with not having a human connection when he's trying to survive in this horror aesthetic land. This movie is absolutely brilliant and a brilliant watch, and reminds you about how human connection can be very important. And seeing Will Smith's performance in I Am Legend is always one that I will re-watch over and over again. This movie is absolutely great, and it's available on HBO Max. Now let's get into the next, more obvious selection that you will be looking for when you have your HBO Max subscription, or if you have one already. Kind of obvious right now, one of the biggest franchises in the world by J.K. Rowling. The reason why I pick Deathly Hallows Part 2 as to a movie to watch right now on HBO Max is to relive the climactic moment, because most of us, or a lot of us, have watched the originals from 1 to 7 or read the books. So the epic climactic battle stands out for me because there's quite a lot that happens in Deathly Hallows Part 2 that will be the last thing that the series is going to portray, because Harry, Ron and Hermione are leaving school, or have left school rather, at this point. Now, the Harry Potter series that is also going to be available on HBO Max is beginning from the very start. So you get a recap as to where it will potentially end up, with different twists in the series, by watching the climactic battle. Now, this, of course, is a brilliant entry into those movies, and it's one of my favourites because of not only the score, but the story about Lily and Severus, and of course Harry's father, and more. Those stories are also concluded at this point. So it'd be really cool to relive this 2-hour, 11-minute story released in 2011, or the visual part of the story released in 2011. And if you read the books, you know that there's still more to explore that was not explored in the way the books explored it. So rewatching this will give you a recap as to what is canonly happening in the story of Harry Potter in the climactic battle and how it concludes. Now, if I was Harry, I wouldn't have snapped the Elder Wand. I would have kept that thing. Just saying. And that's not a spoiler. The movies have been out for quite a while, and it might change because J.K. Rowling is wanting to change a few things about the story. So, of course, he might not do that. Who knows? Now, on the newer side, for a family viewing experience, you have a Minecraft movie released in 2025. The movie is 1 hour 41 minutes. Now, I did say that I'll only be entering movies that I've actually watched. I haven't watched the Minecraft movie, but because it's for the family and for the kids and it's safe to watch for your children, this is one that I definitely have to put on the list because it was really well received by kids that went to watch the movie and for gamers that went to watch the movie. Now, I have some gaming content on my channel. This is definitely going to be one for you to watch if you're looking for a family movie to watch on HBO Max. Now, one that I have watched that is available on HBO Max is going to be not Space Jam, Space Jam 1996. So Space Jam is a brilliant movie from the 90s. I absolutely love this movie, and I've also referenced it by using the music in some of my YouTube Shorts content as well. And this movie stands the test of time and is one of the best of its kind in terms of crossovers with Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny, and the Looney Tunes. This movie is absolutely dope, and there are a few star-studded cast members that also make an appearance in this movie. And if you haven't watched it, I'm just giving you a reason to watch the movie right now. Now, I'm going to quickly give you two that are absolute fan favorite movies from the 80s that you definitely want to check out if you haven't watched these movies, right? First is The Goonies. If you're into things like Stranger Things, The Goonies was the original version of Stranger Things, except it's not horror-based. You might want to check this out, and I'm going to quickly get on to the next one after moving on from The Goonies. So The Goonies is referenced by a lot of people. So if you want to know what The Goonies is about, right here. No sign! The next one, after The Goonies, of course, if you are a Batman fan and you have not yet understood what is meant by, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Then you want to watch the 1989 Batman movie. Now, there are some horror movies as well that are contenders for my list, like The Shining, but I haven't actually seen The Shining all the way through. I've only ever seen a few scenes, and some people are going to be cringing at that, but yeah, I haven't watched The Shining yet, so that's why that's not on the list. But 1989 Batman, I've definitely watched that, and I even played the game, and it was the first Batman game I ever played on Sega Mega Drive, some people know as Sega Genesis. So yeah, Batman. Now, some of you are going to be like, well, and what about romance? Some of us women, or maybe some men, love romance stories. The Bodyguard. Now, Whitney Houston, rest in peace. This was a brilliant movie, and I know it's a brilliant movie, much like another one that's available on this platform, but the reason why I know that is because my mother really loved this movie. She had it on videotape, so I was subject to watching it with her quite a few times. The Bodyguard, if you're into deep, emotional romance and with stakes, The Bodyguard is that movie. Definitely one to watch if you want some romance, and you will be thanking me if you read any romance novels or books. This is going to be a pick for you. And one that definitely has to be on my list, I can't leave this video without it being on my list, is The Dark Knight. Why, Anthony? Why the Christopher Nolan second in a trilogy is this on your list? And of course, with the potential new Batman making his way in the DCU, why The Dark Knight? Well, not only did I study this movie in my media studies, scene by scene, shot by shot analysis, but it's also a well put together movie with a lot of practical effects and tone, beautifully written dialogue, and an amazing pace of story. A beautiful performance by Heath Ledger, rest in peace. And of course, Christian Bale and more in this cast that you cannot watch a Batman movie without watching The Dark Knight. I feel like you're missing out. And if you're into the Batman Arkham games, you can actually get this outfit in that game. So you need to watch The Dark Knight. There are other Batman movies on the list. Of course, Batman Begins, The Batman, and more. But The Dark Knight really stands the test of time because there's so much in this movie that will shock you. Practical effects, it's just a really well put together movie. Of course, Inception could also be on the list, but I'm going to put one Christopher Nolan movie on the list here, which is very difficult for me. But I'm going to put The Dark Knight here. Now, I haven't watched Dune all the way through, which is the reason why Dune has not made my list. I know it's not a Christopher Nolan movie, but it hasn't made my list at this point. Now, The Matrix is also here, and The Matrix I can't ignore either. The Matrix, I have to pick one. So if I'm picking one Matrix movie, I'm going to pick The Matrix 1. So I'm going to pick The Matrix 1 because, again, it's very, very iconic. The Trinity kick, Neo's bullet time as well. This is a very, very iconic movie, and even watching it years down the line, this was released in 1999. This was a very influential movie for me and my movie experiences. This really set the tone for a lot of action movies going forward. Keanu Reeves is an action icon, Lawrence Fishburne, and of course the actress who plays Trinity, and I need to get her name correct because I have seen her in other properties as well. She's even in Jessica Jones. So let's get into the details there. I want to get names correct. Carrie-Anne Moss, of course, Hugo Weaving playing Agent Smith, and a lot more. This cast is amazing as well. Some actors who aren't really performing as much anymore, but there is a lot there that you can really look forward to in this movie. The Matrix, definitely a #1 sci-fi adventure pick that you can't ignore as well. This is a top pick movie that you do not want to miss in your glossary. Now, out of the Lord of the Rings movies, my favourite, of course, is the climax, The Return of the King. I love that movie, and I've also seen a lot of references to the climactic ending of that movie. But if you're going to begin watching Lord of the Rings, you might as well start from sort of the beginning. The Fellowship of the Ring. Now, The Fellowship of the Ring, brilliant, well put together movie. Lots of nostalgia for fans. So The Fellowship of the Ring is definitely going to be a movie that you might want to pick up and watch if you have HBO Max, or a reason to get HBO Max, because it's one of those types of movies that aren't available elsewhere as well. There's another movie that has a different studio property of, like, you know, it's a character from a different studio property also available on HBO Max, which I'm not going to mention at this point because I don't know why. Because I think it was New Line Cinema who owned the rights to the movie that I'm talking about. But if you know exactly what I'm talking about, hit me up in the comment section down below. Let's just click into movies and see if it pops up, and then I don't have to talk about a reason why, because I don't want to get into any legal trouble when I'm mentioning or trying to guess why it's available on HBO Max. But I'm going to scroll through a little bit to see if it just pops up. If it doesn't, Training Days right here, man. That's incredible. The Colour Purple, holy moly. Watched that with my grandmother, just to give you how much depth and time that has in it. There's a lot in that movie. Fame, another iconic movie. There's a lot of iconic movies here. Bonnie and Clyde, man. Like, come on, man. Warner Brothers has depth. These movies have a lot of depth. A lot of classics. Purple Rain. Prince movie, Purple Rain. I had this on videotape. A friend of mine, I remember when I was in college, he had it and he had to lend it to me because we were talking about the movie so much. He was like, I'm going to give you Purple Rain. So there's Michael Jackson and then there's Prince. This movie, for a music biopic, is starring himself. He's playing himself, and you can feel the emotion because of what he went through, and he's reliving those moments in that movie. But there were also some funny comedic moments as well. For example, you want to purify yourself in Lake Minnetonka. So Purple Rain, definitely a cult and historical classic right now at this point. Of course, rest in peace, Prince. Definitely a movie. Didn't even know this was available here. So just going through this and seeing that's something different. There's a few romance here. I did pick my romance pick though, which was Bodyguard. But yeah, I think I'm going to end the video at this. This is a good point to end the video because there's so much that I can pick up on in terms of what's available on HBO Max. But I'm going to end it on one of the most recent releases. I'm going to search it right now because, of course, it's one of the most recent movies on here. Interstellar's right there. I haven't seen it, which is the reason why I didn't pick it. If I haven't seen it, I'm not picking it. Right, so go right here. One of the movies I've seen, The Batman, amazing movie. Let's pick the one that I think is the most recent right now that should be watched, should be a pick. That is definitely not how you spell it, but this is how you spell it right. This is how you spell it right. right here, Superman. So it's Superman definitely a pick right now, especially relating to what's going on with lanterns, and Green Lantern is right there. The current Green Lantern, as far as we know, is right here. So of course, Superman, one of the top movies right now on the platform. You can't miss Superman because it's what's going on in the DCU. So that concludes my list. I had to end it on the boy in blue. I think that's a reference for Superman anyway. Man, if you've enjoyed this video, definitely give me a thumbs up. What movies have you seen that I've been scrolling through here that you definitely want to watch on HBO Max? Do you have a subscription? Are you ready to have your subscription for HBO Max right now after seeing this video? There is some more that I've covered on HBO Max that you might see on screen right now. Definitely check that video out because there's a lot more where this came from. Smash that subscribe button if you've enjoyed my effort right here, and give me a thumbs up. Talk with me in the comment section. I want to hear your recommendations of movies. Is there a movie that you've seen on HBO Max that you think everyone needs to check out? Is there a cult classic, a historical, like really influential blockbuster movie that has influenced movie making overall that you've seen on HBO Max? Sinners is there, ladies and gentlemen, but I haven't seen Sinners, but I will be watching it going forward because it's on HBO Max right now and I have my subscription. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm Anthony Allen. See you soon.